So as I watch this unstoppable new duo of Joel Embiid and James Harden destroy the Knicks after destroying the Timberwolves, I'm going to tell you, man, I kind of lost a little sleep. Over the last couple of days.
Tell me why.
Since Harden made his debut Friday night, because I just kept kicking myself, because I'm just like, what was I thinking? What in the world was I thinking, even questioning this fit? What was I thinking, questioning whether James Harden and Joel Embiid, whether or not they would fit together perfectly offensively? Because James Harden, say what you want about him, and he had a lot to say over the weekend about what kind of a teammate he believes he is. Let me emphasize that. What kind of a teammate he believes he is. Between those lines, he is a crisp white shirt. He is a pair of brown lace-ups. He is a pair of Air Jordan 1s. Harden goes with everything. His game complements everybody. He can play with anybody. Whether he gets along with anybody over the long term, over the long haul, is another conversation. But for him to come in again, and his first 2 games, he's had at least 25 points and 10 assists with a new team. Nobody else has done that. As a matter of fact, he had a stat line yesterday that no Sixer had ever done in franchise history. This is in his second game. Yesterday he had 27, in the first game he played, he had 27, 12, and 8. Yesterday he had 16 assists. So he's turned back into James Harden, the point guard, along with the guy parading to the free throw line, along with the guy who's scoring. Here's the wildest stat that I saw. Here's the wildest stat. The wildest stat is that Harden already has the same number of made three-pointers as a 76er, 5, as Ben Simmons had in 275 career games. It's a wild stat. It's a wild stat.
It's me.
No, that's just facts. That's just facts.
This is really too bad.
But
it's really too bad.
That's just presented without comment. I just said it was a wild stat.
Yeah. I know you did. I know you did.
Here's what makes me feel better. Here's why I was able to sleep well, is because I wasn't alone. I wasn't alone in my ignorance. Because there were a lot of people. I may have said, I'm not sure if Harden and Embiid are the perfect fit. There were a lot of people immediately afterward, the Nets won that trade. Are you sure? Are you certain?
What were you just talking about? Hold on, before you were talking about the crisp white shirt and before you just talking about the crisp white shirt that sometimes has tie-dye, kind of poking through. Oh, you thought it was a white shirt, but it's got tie-dye sometimes in a certain kind of light. Those brown shoes, sometimes they have like a little yellow streak on those brown lace-ups. Those Jordans are like Air Johnsons. Remember those cheap ones? When your parents couldn't afford it? Hello, right here. Couldn't afford to get you the Air Jordans. They give you the Air Johnsons, the Air Jeffersons. They're not quite the real thing. Look, James Harden, the reason you're having those thoughts about James Harden is because he's unreliable. He can play with anybody. Ask Russell Westbrook. Ask Chris Paul. Ask Dwight Howard. He can play with anybody.
Wait. Yes.
Are you sure?
Wait a minute.
Are you sure?
Michael.
Okay.
Michael.
Okay.
Okay. I gave you the full picture.
I know.
Whether or not he can get along with them long term is another conversation. But what they did on the court together, he and Chris Paul gelled good enough to, if not for a Chris Paul injury, to damn near derail Golden State's dynasty in the playoffs. But he and Russell Westbrook played great until Russell Westbrook got hurt. He and Dwight Howard went to the playoffs. He has never not succeeded, even going into the Nets experiment. He has never not succeeded in blending in with a teammate. He may have a short attention span with that teammate. He may rub them the wrong way for his work habits or his off-the-court interests or the clubbing he likes to do or his travel plans. Right. All of that stuff is fair game. But from a basketball standpoint, he has always...
Okay.
What are you talking about? Why can't we point out the fact that his game adapts to whoever?
Because what you're trying to do a very, it's advanced.
Not trying to do anything.
It's an event. Well, what you're doing, okay, you're not trying to do it, you're doing it. You're doing a very advanced exercise in which James Harden the basketball player is separated from his personality, so we can get to look at his game. We ignore all the things that make up James Harden.
No,
and then we
I
say,
didn't
well,
separate
if you
it.
take that, well, but you
I
are
didn't
because you're
separate
saying.
I said there are two things. I said there are two things. I literally did not separate it. I acknowledged one and complimented the other. One, it comes with it. The other one comes with the package.
They can't be two separate things. They can't be two separate things because
no,
the basketball
two things
player
can exist.
The basketball player is one entity. So James Harden, everything that comes with James Harden, including all the good stuff, the seamless game, the game goes with everybody, and he can pass and he can score, and gets in line. That's real, and that has been successful. That's real. But now you got to again breathe life into him because that's him. But that's gonna be a factor.
Go ahead. And
that will be a factor.
Maybe
it will be. It always is.
Okay.
It is.
So far, so good. So far, so good.
Sure.
Look, and it's the Timberwolves, with all due respect, and the Knicks. So there wasn't a whole lot of people that's actually going to, exploit any kind of weaknesses on the part of the Sixers. But what we've seen so far, all I'm saying is that questions about how Embiid and Harden would mesh were answered emphatically immediately.
Listen,
he can play with anybody. Play with Durant. He played with Kyrie. He can play with anybody. Can they put up with him indefinitely? Will he do something to annoy them? Will he end up wanting to be a free agent and have a wandering eye? Who knows? Will he and Embiid clash in the locker room? We'll see. I'm acknowledging all of that. But I'm saying you can say what you want about him as a personality. The dude's game is unassailable. The dude's game is...
Well, I don't know about that. I can't
is beyond reproach. Well, I know you don't like it aesthetically. But his game is above reproach when it comes to its productivity. Okay. That cannot be debated.
We should do this. We should have a...
Ask Joel Embiid. Don't ask me. Don't take my word for it. Ask Joel Embiid.
Ask Joel Embiid. Okay, but even beyond that, we should do a James Harden, in case you missed it. It was way back in 2022, way back when, remember that year? When James Harden said, as a member of the Nets, this is how good we are. This is how good we can be. Essentially the same thing he said, like unstoppable, and the same stuff. Hey, when he first got to Brooklyn way back in 2021, hey, we're great. Hey, we play like this. Just watch out. We're just scratching the surface. Earlier this year, this is how good we are. And now he's in Philadelphia talking about how great it is, and he's a great teammate. Okay. I'm going to enjoy it. I'll enjoy it. This is what I'll do. I'll be a little different.
You're saying wait for it.
Yep, I'll be done. But I'm going to enjoy it this time. Other times, I was just actively rooting for him to fail.
Well, that gets to the point. So he had 29.16 assists.
You're getting yourself a Rams-Bengals situation. You know that right now, though.
No, I'm not doing that. 29.16 assists.
You kind of are.
No, I'm not. No. 29.16 assists and 10 rebounds on Sunday. I just want to make sure I reiterated the stat. First player ever to have 25 and 10 in each of his first two games with a new team. All right? Look at what Tyrese Maxey is doing. Now, they haven't figured out, everybody. I mean, Tobias Harris still has to find his footing. But Tyrese Maxey is killing it. Your problem, Michael, this is the last thing I'll say because we can go to break after this. You can respond, and we'll go to break, and we'll talk more about this with Kurt Heelan from Pro Basketball Talk later on. So we don't have to, empty the entire clip now. But you know what your problem is? You don't let shit go. That's your problem, especially when it comes to James Harden or people. You don't let stuff go. And wait, that is pot meat kettle. That is glass house throwing bricks. That is it takes one to know one. I fully acknowledge that. Fully acknowledge that. Okay? All right. We have that in common. So your issue is you are waiting for it to end badly, otherwise it wouldn't end. You are waiting for the inevitable end of the movie that you saw in Houston, that you saw in Brooklyn, where something goes wrong and James Harden blames everybody else. It may happen. In the meantime, these two dudes are devastating. And all I'm saying is, I don't know why people were so quick to be like, at least I said that they got the best player in the trade. I thought that Simmons, who ain't played yet, I thought that Simmons was the better fit. When I'm forgetting that, again, crisp white shirt, brown lace-ups, Jordan 1s, black jeans, goes with everything. James Harden goes with everybody, which is probably why he's been able to make the rounds and be the serial monogamous that he is.
That's a problem.
Because he can play with everybody.
That's a problem. Yeah, he goes with everybody, too. He goes with everybody. Like, remember, did y'all say that back in New Orleans? Hey, you going with her?
Yeah, we go together.
That's your girlfriend? We go together?
Oh, we talk.
Yeah.
We used to say we talk.
Oh, yeah, y'all
we
talking.
Yeah.
We talking.
Yeah.
We talking. We talking.
Yeah.
We in negotiations. We're about to go together.
Yeah.
So he goes with everybody. He's like somebody who's been with everybody, which is what he's done. But you said something about it. I'm glad you just said this. I'm waiting for the inevitable. His coach now, his current coach, Doc Rivers, said about their championship, that one championship Doc won in Boston. He said, I know this about a championship. You got to go through some crap. You ain't going to win it without going through some crap.
Yeah, and it ain't all be roses. Yeah.
So if you're telling me he tends to wilt when the crap happens, okay, it's a bad fit.
No,
he's gonna have
I'm saying,
they're gonna have to get through it. They're gonna have to get through that.
Here's what I'm saying. They were close a lot in Houston. I think we forget that because of the overall narrative that we've perpetuated. In Brooklyn, it fell apart for a lot of reasons. Some of them, James Harden.
Yeah.
One thing about this dude,
essentially,
he's almost Randy Moss-like. No, not just him. He's almost Randy Moss-like. We just finished talking about Kyrie being unvaccinated. He's almost Randy Moss-like. When he wants to play, when James Harden is motivated and wants to play, you're getting triple doubles, you're getting an MVP on the nightly. So he checked out in Brooklyn, just like he checked out in Houston. I get it if you don't want to just overlook that. But when he's checked in, when he's engaged, tell me who's better than him in the Eastern Conference. Tell me who's better than Philadelphia in the Eastern Conference right now with those two. Who do you like better in the East than those two?
Who do I like? Well, that's different. But Brooklyn could be better. Brooklyn might be better with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. They might be. But it's funny.
Very funny.
Yeah. But it's something. They gave up 8 first-round picks for this dude. 8 first-round picks last year.
F them picks, man.
8.
F them picks.
8. And now they're only down 6. They got 2 back. So they got a deficit of 6. Thanks, James. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.